Right guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk a little bit about those great piles of shame. I am going to try and tackle my great pile of shame, sort out what is in it, how many miniatures are there, and let's see if we can get that number way down. So we're going to head over to the table and unpack everything that we've got that's not painted. So we started by unboxing everything that I had on sprues and sorting out what I actually wanted to keep and what I was happy to sell. I was ruthless. What I didn't need to keep, I decided to try and sell. So I keep most of my models in stacker boxes separated by card into armies and factions, and I basically started counting out all the models, sorting them into army piles, and I made an Excel spreadsheet as I went to keep track of everything that there was for each force. Amazingly, throughout all of this, there was Necrons, Death Guard, Admech, Drukhari, a metric ton of Orcs, and we ended up with a total of 1,060 models, totally unpainted, which is crazy. So we made a full list and inventory, decided what we were going to sell, obviously get a massive chunk of that pile reduced instantaneously, and then move on to painting some stuff up. So breaking that down, that was 244 models, ranging from Daughters of Cain to Drukhari, to Death Guard, and quite a lot of Slaanesh stuff I decided to sell, as I don't feel I was ever going to get round to painting it. 244 models I decided to try and shift and put up for sale. In the models that we want to keep and actually paint pile, there was 193 Orc models. There was 110 Seraphon models, 74 various Death models from Lucy's armies, and a total of 76 Stormcast Eternals, which at the minute we're not in a rush to paint those, and a whopping 40 Marvel Crisis Protocol models, several of which were 3D printed and were alternate sculpts, but a total of 40. So let's see what we can sort out and how we can reduce this pile. So we sorted everything out, and initially there was 244 models that I decided I was going to sell. So we've got all sorts here. Shout outs to people that have already bought stuff. We're getting them boxed up. This is going to get dropped off. We've got some stuff going in this box. We've got a blister pack in here. These guys are getting delivered. Lucy is boxing some up as we speak, and we've got even more to box and sort out. So that was nearly everything that was in. This is going as well. And that. So quite a lot of the new stuff is already gone or going out for delivery tomorrow. That's checked off quite a lot of models. I'm going to take some photos of the other stuff. We've still got loads of stuff on sprue to get rid of, but the aim is to cut the painted or unpainted pile of shame by a quarter. So there was 844 and 200, and how many was I selling?
44.
200. Okay, so 244 minis I'm looking to get rid of. So let's see how many more we can get rid of. So having looked at the list of models, I decided to try and do a big chunk of them first. And I thought, what better way than doing some super easy models? Lucy has a ton of Mortec Guard and skeletons that need painting up. So I dove straight in with the 20 Mortec Guard that we have to paint. And I primed them black, airbrushed them with Rakarth Flesh, and yeah, that was a fantastic start. We even got 10 of the old skeletons out of the way, pretty much using contrast paints and a little bit of lead belcher for the metals. We used Skeleton Horde and Wildwood, but then on the Mortec Guard, we went back and added Agrax Earthshade over the entire model, and dry brushed them again with Rakarth Flesh. It was then going to be a very quick process of using Granite Steel for the metals, use a brown for the spear handles, and we use Volupus, we use Magos Purple for all of the robes, and then I use this Coat d'Arms Amethyst Purple. If anybody remembers 3rd edition Games Workshop paints with the hexagonal screw top ones, this is the same colour that was around back then, and this is the colour that Lucy's Army is painted in. So very quickly I went through and painted the shoulder pads and the shields. There's only a couple of parts to them, and it was a super quick and easy batch of 20 models to get done. And that was 20 models straight off the list with the Mortek Guard, and a further 10 with those old skeleton warriors as well. Another super easy one to do was these are actually Chaos Warhounds, but we're going to use them as dire wolves for Lucy's Death Army. I primed them black, I sprayed them with a top down of cold grey, and then gave them a quick dry brush over all of the fur with Dawnstone. I'm then using Warlord Purple through the airbrush just to spray around where the ribs and the mouths and such are, to give that raw feel. And then I literally painted Rakarth Flesh over the hoofs and the bits of bone that are kind of sticking out the sides, the teeth and the horns. And again, this took me around about 20-30 minutes to paint all 10 miniatures. Now, I won't lie, painting this amount of miniatures in such a short time was a bit of a grind, but because they were nice and easy, I was able to batch paint them out. And then looking afterwards at what I managed to get done, it really made me feel like I've accomplished something. But I didn't really want to paint any more squads up after that, as I was feeling the burn. So, yeah. 20 Mortek Guard, 10 Skellies, 10 Direwolves, 3 Stalkers, and 7 Marvel characters completed. 10 Orc Stormboys just to base, paint the teeth and eyes, and then they're done. So that is 60 models. These were a massive grind, a little demoralising, but I smashed them out. I've increased Lucy's Death and Bone Reaper army. We've got loads of new characters to play with, Midnight Suns and Spider Fours, so that's going to be really cool. Got a couple of orcs done. I want to try and do a few of the bigger models, just for fun, to get them out of the way. Because this was such a grind, I'm probably going to slow down now and just do a couple of models that I really want to enjoy painting. So let's go and pick something from the box. So picking something out of the box turned into a total of an additional 12 characters getting painted up. I was really happy with this. I did a lot of these in one day. I just got in the mood to start painting, and because every model is completely different with different colours, and it doesn't feel like you're having to churn out a full unit, I really enjoyed painting up these Marvel models, and I've actually completed nearly all of the collection. Lucy also managed to get a few painted up. She got Thanos and 3 of the Black Order painted up as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed painting the Marvel models. I can't stress enough how important it is to go and paint something completely different to what you would normally be painting. It really helps break that up. And even so much as like painting Kingpin with all of the white, that was really enjoyable and such a change of pace. I'm really in that mood where I want to keep painting some different things, but I'm going to go and take that back to 40k and Sigmar. So after painting all them Marvel characters, I haven't gone back to anything yet. I was feeling the burn and I haven't painted anything for the rest of this week. I am going to go back to it, but we have an update. In total, folks, we now only have 726 unpainted models. Considering we started at 1,060, that is 267 models either sold or painted, and we've managed to chop a quarter of our great pile of shame down. Some of the stuff that we sold, there was 16 Plague Marines, there was 30 Demonettes, there was like an additional 30 Slanesh models. We sold some Auric War Clan stuff. A lot of the stuff that was still boxed, the Space Marine heroes and characters, we got rid of some Kabalite warriors and some witches. Painted wise, obviously we managed to paint 30 skeletons, 10 direwolves, 10 orcs, and a whopping total of 24 Marvel characters as well, which I was super happy with. And we only managed to add 4 models to the unpainted pile throughout the month because we purchased the new Marvel Crisis Protocol releases. I did technically get an extra model and get it painted, which was Bastion Carthalos, which was of course courtesy of Games Workshop, but because I built and painted that so quickly, I haven't included it in that list. But it's massively important, guys, to really switch up what you're painting. Be ruthless with your pile of shame, right? If you think that you may never play with it, or that's right at the very bottom of my to paint pile, am I ever going to get to it? If the answer is even probably not, get rid of it, right? Sell it or swap it, with something that you are going to paint or going to use. So we managed to get quite a lot of models offloaded to better homes, because otherwise they'd have sat here in the cupboard for God knows how long. We got a lot of the Marvel Crisis Protocol painted up, which we're really in love with at the moment. And every one of them is something completely different. Paint something different, right? Even if you're just sticking to your 40k, your Sigmar, your Necromunda, or whatever game system you're playing, paint something that's different. If you always paint Space Marines, go and paint an Orc or a Tyrannid, right? It's completely different. If you're always painting 40k, paint something. Sigmar has some beautiful models, some seriously beautiful models, and some very big beasts and stuff as well, which will really hold your attention and really get you in the mood to paint. I found that when I started painting the Marvel characters, I was just like, oh, I'll just do one more. And in one afternoon, I think I painted like 8 characters, and I really found me more Joe game, which I've really been struggling with for quite some time. So hopefully this video has really inspired you guys to go through your piles of shame, get some stuff painted that's maybe half painted or very easy, to go, look, I've getting those models done, I've achieved something, but also clearing out something that you're probably not going to use and picking up something that you're really going to enjoy building and painting. If you haven't already though, guys, please hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you press the bell button so you don't miss any uploads. But until next time, thanks for watching.